Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Before we start, I'd just like to say thank you for all the recent support on the last videos. It's been really good to see comments and people genuinely enjoying the videos, so hopefully we can do that again. If you wouldn't mind subscribing, I'd really appreciate it. I post videos like this weekly, and yeah, just trying to grow. If you could also drop a like on the video and tell me what you thought, I'd really appreciate that too. Let's get into it. So today I'm going to be talking about two stories. The last one is quite good, so make sure you stay around. I'm being genuine, I'm not just trying to make you stay. The last story is pretty insane. So to start this first story off, I think I need to describe what kind of group I was in secondary school. In secondary school, we weren't in the popular group, we weren't in the stupidly low end of the school where no one knew you. We're kind of in the middle. Popular people knew you knew popular people and you talked to them, and we're just a good group of people. We did some stupid shit and it was absolutely hilarious. For example, my mate, who I'm going to be talking about in this story, he said a Cool Runnings reference, which if you're a bit older you might know what Cool Runnings is, but he said a Cool Runnings reference outside of the classroom, and I ran from outside into the school, ran into the classroom, knocked about 3 Year 7s over, jumped onto the table, barged into the classroom, jumped onto the table, and just screamed, "Yeah man." It was probably the most hilarious thing I've ever done in school, but oh my god, it was so funny. You'd have to be there to know how funny it was. So that's an example of how stupid we were. For some reason, girls had a thing for pissing off my mate. They'd literally just go up to him and smack him and fucking all that kind of stuff. So this girl came up to him and took a period pad out of her bag. Not used, obviously. Opened it up, and you know how it's like sticky? Well, you probably don't know unless you've got a girlfriend or whatever, or you're actually a girl. The sticky shit on it slapped out on his face, so it stuck on his face, and to say the least, he wasn't very happy about it. After saying a few kind words, bloody fuck you, he then took the pad off of his face and didn't know what to do with it. Now, where we stood at break, we stood in front of a door, and it was like under this little shelter thing, and behind this door was basically the teacher's place. No, none of the teachers actually went in there, but it was the teacher's place, and you're not meant to be in there at lunch, right? And it was like the only place that we could go where we could actually like chill out and do whatever we wanted. So we were often going in there. This door had two massive windows on it. Probably have a picture up on the screen now what I mean. So we used to go in this room all the time, and I remember one time actually where a teacher literally chased us out of this room. We went in there and didn't realise there was a teacher literally watching us behind us, so we had to like slam the door behind her, and we just ended up avoiding this teacher this entire lunchtime. But back to the story I was on about. He took this period pad off his face and just decided, you know what else am I going to do with it? I'm not going to put it in a bin, am I? I'm not civilised. I'm going to slap it on this window, stick it onto the window, and we were absolutely pissing ourselves because it was just, because bear in mind, a period pad is funny when you're like 15, so we were absolutely wetting ourselves about this, and we turned around laughing our arse off. And then, bear in mind it's on a window, so obviously it's see-through, so the teacher's on the other side can see it, and basically we turned around and the fucking head teacher was staring at us through the window. The head teacher, by the way, never normally even comes to the school, so we were surprised that he was even there. Never mind there when, you know, we just slapped my mate did, just slapped a period pad on the window. My mate that did it, he ended up bolting it. He did not want to be there. He ended up getting like 2 weeks of isolation for that. They ended up having to get like a spatula from the kitchen to, I don't even think they're actually that hard to get off, but they ended up getting a spatula out of the kitchen to like get under it and get it off. And yeah, I mean, got 2 weeks of isolation for that, which if you know what isolation is, it's kind of like just a thing where you're like in solitary confinement. You've got 2 walls next to you, you can't speak to anyone, you basically just read. And it's the most boring shit ever, and if you got 2 weeks of it, it's horrible. That was probably the funniest thing to happen at school. I do have more funny stories about my secondary school, but that has to be one of the funniest things that has ever happened in secondary school. There's been a few fights that have been funny, stuff like that, but oh, Jesus Christ, that to do with my group, that was the funniest thing. Now, this second story I'm not even sure why it happened or how it happened, but basically I'm quite athletic, right? I play football. I'm in a football academy at the moment. I go out to play football quite regularly. I exercise a lot, all that kind of stuff. I go to this specific park because it's not busy, but it has everything that I need on there. And for some reason, it's near basically it's near a council estate, right? Which if you're in UK, you know exactly what that is. I don't know why it is for me, because I don't live on a council estate, obviously, but I just feel like everyone that lives on a council estate is dodgy, and yeah, oftentimes the kids are arseholes. There's always this one particular kid who is literally about 6, running around being an utter twat, throwing things at people and throwing stones at dogs and all that kind of shit. And he was such, oh Jesus Christ, I wanted to fucking boot that kid out of the sky. As I say, there's always little cunts running around and doing stupid shit, right? There was one time where this kid decided he's going to climb up this massive tree, and he couldn't get down, and basically he ended up falling out of the tree and landing straight on his back. It was the most traumatic experience of my life, because I thought that kid literally died. He didn't move. Bro, he looked dead. This kid decided it'd be a great idea to get a deodorant can and a lighter. If you know what that does, then you've probably done it yourself. Getting a deodorant can and spraying it and putting a lighter next to it basically makes a fucking flamethrower. This kid, I'm not even kidding, has to be no older than 6, and he has a lighter in his hand. He could like burn down a fucking building if he wasn't careful. But you know, he did the same thing, but to a fucking tree. He aimed it at this tree. It basically caught light within 3 seconds, and before you know it, within a minute, it was halfway up the fucking tree, burning the entire tree. Jesus Christ, this kid was shitting himself, by the way. Baba Booey. There was people out with water and everything. It just wasn't working. Luckily, there's no trees near it, so it wasn't really going to spread. The fire department ended up getting called out, and yeah, ended up fucking putting out the tree basically. Do you know what's funny? That tree is still there, but this kid is so fucking stupid, honestly. Like, if you just know basic fire physics, you know that if you sprayed this at the tree, it's just going to catch fire. If there was any buildings near it or any wooden things near it, that would have caught fire and would have spread. Could have set like 3 houses on fire if he wasn't careful. Do you know what's funny? Didn't get caught because he ran off. And no one snitched on him. That's the most stupid shit ever. So, if you guys did like the video, please drop a like. As I said at the start of the video, thank you for all the support. If we could get 10 likes on this video, I will definitely do more stories. I still have quite a few stories. I'll see you guys on Sunday with a new upload. I will be going back to doing only 2 uploads a week now, as I've pretty much finished my week off. See you guys in the next video. Have a great day. Bye bye.